Maya used to think change would arrive like a thunderstorm, loud and obvious. She waited for the sky to split. Most days, nothing did. Alarm at 4:30. Snooze. Alarm again. She rose in the dark and made oatmeal. Her apartment had one window that faced a brick wall. When the wall began to glow, the sun was up. She drank coffee and whispered, "Today, we try again." Maya worked the early shift at a grocery store bakery. She filled trays, sliced bread, glazed cinnamon rolls. The air smelled like warm yeast. Her boss, Carmen, said, "People need bread and hope." Maya tried to smile, but worry returned. She was 27 and felt stuck. Her phone was full of ideas. A park fitness class, a granola shop, a simple meals newsletter. Many starts, few finishes. One Tuesday, a late customer with a bright scarf pointed at Maya's oatmeal cookies. "These are brave," he said. "Brave cookies?" "They're not trying to be chocolate chip," he said. "They are what they are, and that takes guts." He left a big tip and added, "Keep baking brave things." Maybe the point was not to be perfect. Maybe it was to keep going. That night she called her brother, Luis, a paramedic who sounded tired and kind. He asked, "What do you want to build this year?" "A stronger morning," she said. "You don't need a new life," Luis said. "You need a new pattern. For 30 days, do one hard thing before sunrise. Do it when no one claps. Be your own witness." "Like what?" "Run a mile. Write for 20 minutes. Make 10 calls, but start before the sun. Make the morning yours." Maya wrote on a sticky note, the 5 a.m. Promise, one hard thing before sunrise for 30 days. She stuck it to the fridge, set 3 alarms, and put her phone across the room. In the mirror, she said, "This time, we finish." Day 1. The alarm hit like a siren. She wanted to hide, but the phone and the future she wanted was across the room. She laced her shoes and stepped into the dark. The first mile was clumsy. Her breath scraped, her feet slapped the pavement. She kept going until the east went gray. Back at her door, cheeks hot, mind clear, she whispered, "Day 1. Day 2, her legs ached. Day 3, her mind argued, "You don't have time. You'll be tired at work." She ran anyway. By day 6, she knew the beagle in the red sweater, the guy who waved, the bus driver who honked twice. On day 8, Maya saw the man with the scarf outside the bakery. "Your brave cookies got me moving," she said. He laughed, then introduced himself. Ezra, a retired English teacher who now painted. "People think change is a speech," he said. "Most of the time, it's a schedule." He raised his cup. "To your mornings." By day 10, Maya felt different at work. She stood straighter and moved faster. She added a pinch of sea salt to the oatmeal cookies. Customers noticed. Carmen noticed. "You look brighter," Carmen said. Maya told her about the promise. "Keep going," Carmen said. "Bread rises when the baker believes." There were setbacks. On day 12, rain poured. Maya planned to skip, then read the sticky note. She put on a jacket and ran. Cars hissed past. She came home soaked and laughing. She had learned a secret. She could do hard things and not fall apart. On day 15, Luis brought breakfast tacos and played coach. "What happens after 30 days?" he asked. "I don't know." "Good," he said. "Finish the promise. Let the next step meet you." On day 18, a young woman named Tasha stopped Maya. "I've seen you run every morning," Tasha said. "Can I run with you?" Maya's first thought was, "I'm too slow to lead anyone." Her second thought was, "Say yes." "Meet me at the corner at 5:10, she said. The next day they ran side by side. Running with Tasha changed the rhythm. They talked in short lines between breaths and made a rule. No heavy talk after the first half mile. Save that part for quiet. By day 22, there were 3 of them. A neighbor named Owen joined after seeing their crew pass his window. They called themselves Sunrise Club. Half joke, half dare. Someone made a group text. Someone else brought bananas. Ezra jogged a block in his bright scarf and waved his book like a flag. On day 24, Maya's ankle turned on a crack. Pain flared. She limped home and iced it with a bag of frozen peas. The old voice tried again. "See? This never lasts." She let the doubt pass like a slow train. That evening, she opened a notebook and wrote 3 lines. "I am not my setback. I finish what I start. I build mornings I can trust." Day 25. She did not run. She kept the promise anyway. She woke at 5, stretched, and wrote for 30 minutes about dawn-wet sidewalks, shoe sounds, Carmen's laugh. When the sun rose, she felt full. By day 27, her ankle was better. The club ran slow and light, like they were carrying a glass of water they did not want to spill. Gratitude stung Maya's eyes. The morning had become a place she could go and feel like herself. On day 29, Carmen pulled Maya aside. "I'm applying for a small city grant," she said. "They fund local ideas that bring people together. If we win, I want you to lead a Saturday bake and breathe class in the park bread demos, simple stretches, maybe a short run. You up for it?" Maya's first thought was, "I'm not ready." Her second thought rose warm. Yes. That night, she stood at the window and watched the last light fade off the brick wall. She held the sticky note from day one, wrinkled and flour-stained. 30 days had almost passed. She could feel a day 30 sunrise waiting on the other side of sleep. She set her alarms, laid out her shoes, filled a water bottle, and put a banana by the door. Then she lay down and listened to the hum of the building. Change was not a thunderstorm, she thought. It was one small light turning on in the dark, and in the morning, that light would be hers. Day 30 rose like a quiet drum. Maya's alarm vibrated across the room, same as always, same dark, same breath, same shoes. But when she tied the laces, her hands shook a little. Outside, the streetlights hummed. Tasha jogged up, then Owen. They bumped fists and ran the first block in silence, saving words for later. Their feet made a soft, three-part rhythm, tap, 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 like a promise keeping time. At the river path, the sky opened from navy to soft gray. "Last day of the promise," Owen said between breaths. "Last day of phase 1, Tasha added. Maya smiled. New pattern, same sunrise. They finished at the corner where they always stretched. Ezra stood there, scarf bright as a flag. He held a small paper crown made from a brown bakery bag. "For the Queen of Brave Mornings," he said, placing it on Maya's head. She laughed so hard she had to sit on the steps. The crown crinkled, and the moment felt both silly and huge. She had finished something she started. The pattern held. At work, Carmen slid a note across the counter. "Draft your idea in 10 lines. Make it human. Make it clear. The city will want simple," she said. "Bread, breath, neighbors." Maya took a deep breath and wrote, "Name, bake, and breathe. Who, neighbors, all ages. What, 30-minute stretch plus 30-minute bread demo. Why, morning health plus low-cost food skill. Where, Maple Park near the fountain. When, Saturdays 8 a.m. Cost, free. Need, small grant for ingredients, mats, permits. Team, bakery staff, plus Sunrise Club volunteers. Goal, joy you can taste and repeat." Carmen read it and nodded. "It sounds like you," she said. "Let's polish and send." That night, Maya told Luis she was scared to talk to a crowd. "What if I freeze?" "Then you breathe," he said. "In 4, out 6, look at one face at a time. Talk like you're calling a friend. Use short words. No one hates short words at 8 a.m. She practiced in the mirror, holding a wooden spoon like a mic. At first, her voice shook. By the 4th run, it leaned forward and stood on its own. She didn't try to sound like a TED speaker. She tried to sound like a baker who cared. While they waited on the grant, the Sunrise Club kept growing. A dad with a jogging stroller joined. A nurse on night shift walked with them on her cool-down days. A high school senior timed sprints for everyone and yelled, "Let's go!" like he was born to lift people up. They traded playlists, bananas, and little bits of life. New job interview. Dogs on meds. Grandma's birthday. Small facts that made the mornings warm. One Thursday, a man in a suit stopped them. "You pass my window every day," he said. "At first I thought, wow, they're loud," he smiled. "Now I think, wow, I should get up." "Start with a walk," Maya said. "You don't need to be fast. You just need to be here." Not everything was bright. The city wrote back, "Strong concept, not selected this round." Maya read the email twice. Her stomach shrank. She thought of the paper crown, the draft, the friends who had started to believe. She put her head on the counter and let 3 honest tears fall. Carmen stood beside her. "We can sulk today," she said, "and still be the kind of people who show up Saturday. What if we just do it anyway?" Tasha asked that night in the group chat. "No grant. Small, simple, safe. Borrow mats, use what we have. Call it a pop-up." Luis replied, "You need a permit to sell anything. But you don't need one to stretch in a park and hand out recipe cards." Maya stared at her phone. The old voice tried to creep back in. "See, you reached and missed." But it felt smaller now, like a radio in another room. "Let's do a pop-up," she typed. 1 hour, free, bread demo without the ovens, mixing, shaping, basics. We'll give people dough to take home. Saturday came, honest and blue. They laid out 6 borrowed mats and a picnic table. Ezra painted a quick sign: bake and breathe, free, all welcome. Carmen brought bowls, flour, and lukewarm coffee in a big thermos. Luis showed up in his uniform, then doffed his radio and rolled his shoulders like a coach. The Sunrise Club handle set up like they'd done this their whole lives. 10 people came, then 12, then 21, a kid in dinosaur pajamas, 2 seniors who held hands, a woman with earbuds who took one out and stayed. Maya led the stretch with slow, simple words. Feet on the ground, shoulders drop, breathe in, make space between your ribs. She showed how to mix a shaggy dough, how patience turns sticky into smooth. People leaned in, the air filled with flour dust and laughter. When someone asked a question, Maya looked at one face at a time, like Luis said. She felt her voice steady and catch the room. After, a woman said, "I haven't cooked in months." This felt like a door. Dad whispered, "My son has been shy since we moved." He smiled today. A teen filmed the last 5 minutes and posted it. By evening, a small local blog wrote, "Neighbors launch pop-up that mixes wellness and bread. It's as good as it sounds." The city council member for their district left a comment, "Reapply next round." This is the good stuff they did. In the meantime, they held pop-ups every other Saturday. Nothing fancy, no stage, no lights, just grass, bowls, breath, and people. The pattern grew. Maya created a tiny email list called Brave Oats, then turned it into a weekly note. 1 simple recipe, 1 short story, 1 Sunrise Club photo. "Hit reply if you try it," she wrote. Replies came in, crumb shots, kids with flour on their noses, a lone college student grinning next to a lumpy loaf. She wasn't blowing up, she was connecting. It felt better than going viral. Then came a hard month. A storm knocked out power twice. Maya got the flu. She missed 3 mornings in a row and felt that old sharp shame. The sticky note was gone, the fridge was clean. Who was she if she didn't run at dawn? Luis texted, "You're a person." Rest is part of training. Ezra dropped a bag at her door with soup and a new paper crown labeled "Still Brave." The next morning, Maya didn't run. She sat by the window, watched rain bead on the brick wall, and wrote 10 lines of thanks. On day 4, she walked. On day 5, she jogged 2 blocks. She learned that never miss twice didn't mean never get sick. It meant be kind, then come back. When the city's email finally came, approved, bake and breathe, pilot grant. She read it out loud at the bakery, and Carmen whooped so loud a customer cheered and had no idea why. The grant was small, but it was real. It covered mats, ingredients, and a modest speaker for a headset mic so people could hear. It paid for a permit and a folding table that didn't wobble. Their first official class drew a crowd that rippled to the fountain. Maya wore the headset and laughed at herself. "I feel like a pop star," she said, "but instead of a smoke machine, we have flour." People clapped. She guided them through breath and stretch, then turned to the dough. "This part takes patience," she said. "Good things often do." She pressed heel of hand into the dough and counted. 1, 2, 3, like a heartbeat. A girl asked, "What if my dough won't listen?" "Most doughs listen when you do," Maya said, and everyone smiled because they knew she was talking about more than bread. Week by week, they built the program like a loaf mix, rest, shape, bake. Tasha led stretches sometimes. Owen handled sign-in and water. A quiet neighbor named Jules designed simple flyers and taught them a few yoga moves that didn't scare off beginners. Ezra painted new signs when the old ones wore down. The high school sprinter led a lap for joy at the end. They added a swap table. Bring a spice, take a spice. People traded cumin, cinnamon, and stories. Maya got better at handing off the mic. The mornings didn't depend on her being perfect. They depended on the pattern being strong. If she woke up late once and arrived 10 minutes in, the class didn't crumble. It flowed around her like a river around a rock. That felt like real progress. One Sunday night, she stood at her window and looked at the brick wall she used to hate. In the warm light, it looked like a giant, steady notebook, the kind that keeps your lines straight so your words can find their place. She thought about the man in the suit who started walking, the nurse who stretched after the night shift, the little boy in dinosaur pajamas who now shouted, "Need it like you mean it," at least once per class. She thought about being 27 and stuck, and how stuck had turned into steady, not overnight, not on a hype wave, but on a path you could set your feet on, day after day, even when the weather threw a fit. Maya grabbed a pen and wrote on a fresh card for the fridge. "I don't chase lightning. I build mornings. I keep the promise. I share the light. Then she taped it up, set her alarms, and put her phone across the room. In the morning, she would rise, not because a hero speech demanded it, but because the pattern did. She would meet the Sunrise Club, laugh, breathe, and help neighbors turn Flower in Time into something warm. On the next Saturday, as the class wound down, a new face hovered at the edge, nervous, hopeful, uncertain. Maya waved them in. "You're on time," she said. "We're always just starting." The person stepped onto the grass and smiled with that mix of fear and relief that happens when you try again. Maya handed them a bowl and a recipe card. "It doesn't have to be perfect," she said. "It just has to be honest." Together, they counted the breaths. They pressed the dough. The fountain hissed in the background like a soft applause. And above the brick and trees and city noise, the morning stretched open, wide and kind, ready for another brave thing.